What's going on, guys? I hope you liked the last video talking about my complete saddle hunting setup for this year. In this video, I want to kind of go a little more in depth on my setup and talk about some key modifications that I've made and some things that have made my life a lot easier in this setup. All right, guys, so like I said, I want to talk about some modifications that I've made. One of the biggest modifications, and honestly the one that's made the biggest difference for me, is the suspenders. So the cool thing about these is Tethered actually makes these and sells them on their website. I started looking at the ones that they make and I was like, shoot, I've got an idea for a system that I've already got suspenders for that I think I could make work. So these are actually the Sitka suspenders that come with your like Timberline pants come with them. Your I think my Cloudburst pants came with them. But anyway, I've got several sets of these suspenders. So what I did is I decided, hey, I'm going to figure out a way where I can make a suspender system to hold my saddle hunting setup, or hold my saddle up while I'm hiking in. Guys, I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but I can tell you right now, if you're like me and you like to wear your saddle in, you're hiking way back in there, especially if you're wearing a pack and it likes to push your saddle down. If you're a smaller frame guy like me, this is going to be key. If you have some suspenders, or if you have some, especially the Sitka suspenders, or even if you want to buy the ones from Tethered, theirs are probably more simple. I'm not going to lie, it's probably more simple, probably easier with less modifications. But for me, I had this stuff sitting around. I like to make my own things if I can without spending any extra money. So what I did here is I actually took some 550 cord, and hopefully you can see that. I took some 550 cord and I actually took and made some loops and ran it through the molly strapping back on the back of the saddle. I ran 2 on the back, and then I ran 1 on the right hand side and 1 on the left hand side of my saddle. The Sitka suspenders have the little loop hooks that go like in belt loops, and the reason I did the 550 cord is because it's just so small and it's out of the way. If I wanted to take the suspenders off, I could just leave those hooked up or leave those 550 cord loops on there, and it's not going to get in my way. So I hooked the suspenders through, I got them adjusted, and I used them that way for a couple times, and then I started having issues with the hooks on the suspenders popping off. So what I actually did is I took some zip ties, and I ran a zip tie on the inside of each one of my clips from my suspenders, and I actually ran that zip tie and slid it over where it won't actually allow the 550 cord to come out of the hook. And since I've done that, I haven't had a bit of issues, and I'm telling you guys, these suspenders are a lifesaver when you're hiking way back in. It keeps my harness up, and it allows me to kind of loosen my leg straps and stuff in a way where my harness is just kind of there. It doesn't feel like it's restricting me, which I really, really like. Another modification that I've done on the saddle is right here. So on the right hand side of my saddle, I've got a little hauler on the back, and inside that hauler I've got both my bow ropes. Well, what I did with the one is I actually ran a zip tie through the mesh material here on the pocket, and that's where I run my flat rope, which that's another thing I'll talk about, guys. This little, I don't know what size it is, if it's 1/2 inch or whatever it is, but It's just flat, almost like webbing material, but it's like a rope. Instead of using a round 550 cord rope, which I've used for the most of my hunting time, most of the time that I've hunted, I've used 550 cord for my pull-up ropes. One thing I've noticed is that when you're lowering that down, and even when you're pulling something up that's really heavy, that 550 cord burns your hands. So I've noticed with this flat webbing type rope, it doesn't burn your hands when you're pulling it up, pulling things up or letting them down. But I zip tied that into that pocket so I can just drop it, and if I accidentally drop it out of my hands, it's not going all the way to the ground. So that's another mod that I made on the little pouch there. And then the other thing I've got in there is just some 550 cord. That's for lightweight stuff or whatever, and I use that as a backup rope. I didn't do any modifications on that, so that's pretty much it there. And lastly, another big modification that I've made so far is I actually took some Luco tape, just because it was the thinnest tape I could find that would still allow me to use these clips. These are the clips that go around your legs. When I was sitting in the stand, I noticed, let me grab my bow. So I was hunting some public land a couple weeks ago, and I like to sit there sometimes with my bow on my hip. Like when I'm watching deer come up, I'll just set my bow on my hip and kind of look around and watch. Well, I noticed that with doing that on my harness, about to fall. I noticed with my harness, when I was hanging my bow there on my hip, I was hitting these clips and it was making noise. So I actually took on these clips, covered them in Luco tape. I'll tink them together a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Get the mic close. That is much quieter. So now listen to this as I tink the actual aluminum together. All right, I'm gonna hit the Luco tape together. Hopefully you can hear that. Much quieter, made a huge difference, and it stays on really well. I'm a big proponent of covering everything up that you can to keep everything quiet. So that's pretty much all the mods for my harness. And then on my platform itself, I've taken some like hockey type camo tape and taped up like the post, the buckle, and the corner here where my little hook is, and I just made me a hook where as I'm climbing up the tree, I can just hook that on the back of my harness or the back of my saddle as I'm going up. Then when I get up there, I just pull it off and strap it to the tree. So that's pretty much it, guys, for the modifications. Like I said, the harness mod, that's the biggest thing. That has really helped me and really made my life a lot easier. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, guys. It's pretty short, not a whole lot to it. If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Please comment down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. And go check out the website. Check out the website for hats, t-shirts, and stickers. Don't forget that every purchase you make on the website also helps conservation. Lastly, go check out the guys at Grafton Archery. I know we're like in the heart of deer season right now, but if you have any archery issues or questions, go check those guys out or give them a call and they will get you set up. So I appreciate you watching, guys. Hopefully you got something out of it. We'll catch you on the next video. Remember to live your life to the fullest and use your passions to bless others. Good luck out there, guys.